Hey guys, it's Bobcat Soup, and welcome back to another episode of States of Monsters. This week we're going to be doing Texas, at the request of my friend Apex Comics. This week I'm doing things a little bit differently. Instead of going through the list of state symbols and just going over them one by one, every single one, I'm just going to be presenting to you the ones that stood out to me and the ones that I want to use. Okay, so here's what I'm going to be using. The state large mammal, the Texas longhorn. The state small mammal, the nine-banded armadillo. The state hat, the cowboy hat. The state reptile, the Texas horned lizard. The state plant, the prickly pear cactus, that's hard to say. The state stone, the petrified palmwood. The state flag, well, of course that'd be the Texan flag. And the state precious metal, silver. So, let's get into it. So, starting off, I wanted to lean very heavily into the nine-banded armadillo body shape. And maybe it's a cheat, maybe, but I wanted a more dome-shaped body to make this creature look more, durable. And so I went more with a Glyptodon, which is an extinct species of armadillo type body. It also kind of makes it almost look like an Ankylosaurus, which is apparently how that's pronounced. I've always said Ankylosaurus. Apparently it's Ankylosaurus, so do with that information what you will. I noticed that I was leaning pretty heavily into the, what is that called? Thorny lizard? Spiky, I don't remember what it's called. The lizard. And so, what I did was I gave it ears still, to try and make it look more mammalian and not have it so, lean towards reptilian. And of course, the horns from the long steer was a must. And I also tried to shape the shell of the armadillo like a cowboy hat. I tried not to make it too obvious, because I don't want any of these animals to really be just straight up wearing clothes. So hopefully it's subtle enough. You might notice that I started adding kind of spikes or ridges along the back and the tail, but I'm going to explain that later. For now, I want to talk about the actual fin kind of things on the tail. That was how I nodded to the prickly pear cactus, because I couldn't really think of a different way to incorporate it. And also, I added a star on it. I don't know if that's too kind of in your face. Hopefully it's not. To have just a straight up symbol on an animal, but I think it looks cool having the star on both the shell and then a star shaped tail ending thing, tail ending. I don't know. It looks cool, is what I'm trying to say. And you might have noticed that I actually added red underneath the eyes, and that's because the Texas thorned lizard is one of the species of lizard that shoots blood out of its eyes as a defense mechanism. So that's a reference for you. Alright, so back to the spikes and the ridges that I was talking about. You're going to see I'm starting to add this pattern, and the reason for that is because this is actually a blue version of the petrified palmwood stuff. See? So it all comes back around. That's the state stone. And apparently the scientific name for this stuff is Palmoxylon, I think is how you pronounce it, which sounds really, really cool. And I feel like I've been talking a lot in this episode in particular, so I'm just going to stop doing voiceover, let you guys enjoy the music, and I will come back once we get to the background. Okay, so we're back and I'm going to be doing the background now. The most obvious choice was obviously a desert, but even though I did a pretty standard desert illustration, I wanted to kind of up my game. So later you're going to see kind of lens flares and just some different lighting effects that I did that hopefully add to the drawing. Hopefully you think it looks good. Personally, I like it. I noticed that in the series I wasn't really experimenting with colors in the background. There was no nightscapes or anything. It was all just blue skies. And so for this I wanted kind of a scorching orange desert sky. And so I added a whole entire color overlay over the entire drawing after I was done kind of coloring in the sky, just to even give the creature a kind of orange tint almost. I tried to make it not too strong so that it wouldn't kind of bleach out the colors of the creature, because what would be the point of me going through the whole process of coloring it and referencing the Texan flag if I was just gonna kind of take it away all the colors and cover it up with orange. But yeah, I think I struck a nice balance, and I can speak English. And even though I tried to experiment with a new intro, the outro is exactly the same. You know the drill. It's time for the reveal. So let me know what you think of it in the comments down below, along with what you think of the changes to the intro and the thumbnails and the titles of these videos. Are going to be different, just to experiment with viewer retention and, you know, getting more clicks and all that YouTuber mumbo jumbo. Go ahead, leave a like, subscribe if you aren't already, and I will see you in the next video.